Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We're going into a beautiful and special Shabbat, and this week we'll read the Torah portion of Tazria Mitzorah. It's a double portion, which is very common. In most years, actually, we read them together as one. And in both of them, it talks about, at least in large part, the laws of leprosy, a Mitzorah, and a person got this condition where their skin changed color. First, their house may change color, the stones in their house. And this only happened in Israel when we had the temple. Or afterwards, their clothing may change color. And most importantly, their skin color, whether it's on their head and different parts of their body. And how do you deal with it? And how do you recognize if it has any meaning, and if you become defiled? Because it's not a medical condition, it's a spiritual issue which gets expressed in something physical. Why does tsaras happen? Mostly because of evil gossip, because you're talking bad about people. Now it's very interesting. The beginning of the portion, Isha ki tazria, talks about a woman who gives birth, who becomes pregnant and gives birth. And there are certain laws of impurity when blood, a woman sees blood related to birth or a cycle. But the word that's used is very interesting. Tazria means becomes pregnant, but the truth is Tazria comes mainly from the word planting. So obviously, when within the womb is planted a seed and an egg, it can turn into a fetus, a child, and then the laws that come out of it, and even the law of circumcision, which we have here, if it's a boy, you have to circumcise the boy in the 8th day. But the question is, because the name of the portion carries a lot of weight, and when we're talking about tsaras, leprosy, which comes from evil gossip, how does that fit into something good? Birth, a new child, a boy becoming into the covenant, and specifically even the word tazriya itself, planting. What's the connection? What's the inherent connection between both of them? It's not just, it is both in the same portion, and one follows the other. And perhaps the Torah is telling us that tazriya is an antidote to ensuring you don't get tsaras. Evil gossip is a terrible thing. It's terrible because you're hurting people. You're talking bad about people, you're hurting people. But there's something even more terrible that is going on. And the question is, where does it come that we spend our time talking about people? And especially talking bad about people. Why would I, who are given, and every one of us who are given a short time to live in this world, 120 years, even if we live out our entire life, 120 years, it's short. There's so much we want to do in our life, so much every one of you want to accomplish, want to make happen, want to enjoy, want to share. Time is so precious. The greatest commodity that exists is time. It's not money, it's not any gems, it's time. Because money comes and goes. You look at the stock market, some people make $1 billion in a year, they lose $1 billion in a year, tens of billions. Money comes and goes. But time, once it's past, you can never get it back. Whatever you do today is today's time. You can't make back yesterday's time. So who has the time to even talk about other people? I'm not talking about when you're with other people to talk about that person who you're with, but to talk with a third party about someone else who's not even here. Why aren't you using your time to try to develop yourself as a person, your knowledge, your reach, your relationships with the people you're meeting with? Where does time come from to talk about other people? And the answer is that if we don't set up our lives to be tazriya, if we don't set up our lives to plant, to sow, to till, to set ourselves up to use our time productively in the furtherance of our development of ourselves and our reach and our abilities and relationships and the things that are important around our life, this is what will happen. Tsaras will become part of your life. Because when you're empty, when you're not investing, there's no pain. You're not filling your mind and your heart with things that help you move forward. All of a sudden it becomes empty and it searches How can I fill myself up with something meaningful, with something exciting? Not really meaningful, more exciting. So it starts let's look at the lives of other people. My life is not worthy enough to look at. Let me look at the lives of other people. And by the way, the more I put them down, even though my life may not be that worthy enough to look into, at least I feel better than the other one because look what they did and look who they are. Look how they behave. So the Torah is telling us, Isha Ki Tazriya, when you learn how to approach your life, to plant and sow and till and make things happen and work towards productivity, taking care of yourself physically, materially, obviously what you need, but taking care of yourself mentally and spiritually, you're going to have that gap that's going to drive you to fill it with the lives of other people. And once you start filling the lives of other people, it becomes about the negativity of their lives. And by the way, you hurt yourself as much as you hurt the others. Because fill yourself with this negativity, it's like weeds growing in your grass. It doesn't look nice anymore. It covers the grass. All of a sudden, even the good things in you get covered up with the negativity. And your interest is like the world today. Everyone wants to go to watch the talk shows about uncovering the terrible, disgusting, immoral lives of other people. Is that what we want to be busy with? Tazriya, spend your time to plant and sow your garden. Make your garden shine, because when your garden is full, you don't need to get pleasure from anything else except from all the things that you're doing, that you're creating, and you're sharing with others. So let's spend more time building and planting and making a beautiful garden and orchard of our own. So I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. God bless you in all your endeavors, as long as we fill it with proper, productive, and good things. We love you all. Shabbos candlelighting time in Montreal, 7:24 p.m. Shabbat Shalom.